Hello, welcome back to Beyond 50. Today, we're going to be announcing the winner of the Woozoo from the photography, from our myriad of comments that we got on our photography contest from last month. So, I'm also, just because I feel like making this video a little bit longer, I want to talk about how I selected the winner, and I used AI to do it. So we're going to get right into going over the results, and then we'll select the winner. And then if you can ignore the rest of this video if you don't care about AI and coding and those sorts of things. But I kind of felt it was maybe kind of a fun conversation to get into. So let's do it. All right, so first of all, let's talk about our results. Right here, we only had a total of 7 votes. So, you know, this isn't really statistically super valid, but picture number 3 got 2 votes and picture number 4 got 2 votes. Now, both of those were pictures that I took. The first one you can definitely tell was taken by me because Frank's in the picture. And the second one, I'm pretty sure I took the picture of. So I think we're good there. The next 3 pictures each got 1 vote each. I'm pretty sure I took the one with Frank in it again. And one of these, I'm not entirely sure if, one of them definitely, this picture here with the black and white photo with a couple of people in it. Frank definitely took that picture. The stadium picture, I'm not sure if that was me or Frank. And then obviously the other picture with Frank in it I took. So somehow I stumbled upon the most number of votes, even though all things considered, I think Frank is still probably the better photographer. He takes some amazing photos at the Velodrome in Redmond every summer. Take a look at his Instagram if you want to look up his photos there. They're amazing. So let's real quick, let's just run through and select the winner for the Woozoo, which is who I'm going to just, I got a random comment selector that I wrote here. So we're going to pull up and jump onto a little screen share, and we'll select the winner. Let's be clear. AI is going to select the winner on this one. So AI is going to select, I'm going to run this code. This code was generated by AI. It's going to select the winner of any person that happened to have commented on this video, and we'll just see who that is, and then we'll talk a little bit about AI and a little bit of the code if you're interested in sticking around. All right, so on screen here should have the console window open, and this is just going to run this simple script that I've got here, which is random YouTube user comment. So what this is going to do is it's going to grab the username of anybody that commented on this video. And I'm going to run it, and it's actually going to ask me for the video, the URL. This will run it against any YouTube video and grab comments, and it should just give me back a username, and it gave me back Mr. Christie. So it looks like Mr. Alan Christie has won the Woozoo. I want to talk a little bit about the code that I used to run this generator, because and sort of how I got to the point of where I thought I needed to write that. Because when we did the initial video and I put it out there of like, hey, people are going to win something. What's going to happen if I have 10,000 people comment on this video? How am I going to like choose a winner? So laying in bed one night and I think, oh, what if I have ChatGPT write me some code to do this? And literally that's what I did on my phone. And so here is the exact prompts that I actually sent to ChatGPT to create the script. And it didn't do it right at first. This is kind of fun. What I initially asked for, well, here, let me pull this up real quick. Okay, so this is my initial conversation that I had with ChatGPT. And again, this was on my phone in the middle of the night. And ChatGPT, I asked it, can you write a PowerShell script that will get all the usernames out of YouTube comment section and select one at random? And ChatGPT responded with, yes, you can do this if you download all of the data first and put it in a JSON file, and then you can run this script. And let me just roll it down here a little bit. That will extract a random username out of that JSON file. But that's kind of leaving the hard part to me still. This is kind of ChatGPT saying like, yeah, if you do the hard part, and then I'll do a bunch of guess and check, and I'll try and figure out what the username is based on it having an @ in the name, and then I'll do a random select out of it for it. But that still leaves me to parse through, you know, again, at the time I thought maybe I was going to get thousands of comments and feed those out somehow. And I'm like, this can't be the right way to do it. So, and let's just skip past this, because I go back to ChatGPT and I say, can you make the script create the JSON file by parsing the YouTube video URL and then combine it with this script? So I asked ChatGPT to do the hard part for me. Go to the URL, get the data, and do it. And what it suggested was actually then the mostly correct script, which actually grabs all of the data from Google's APIs that are available, and downloads the data into a JSON file, and then does the extraction, which is a much better way to do it. And that gives me a completed script here that actually runs. Now, there are a couple of problems with this. So one, I did need to, and it actually does give me some steps here. One, it tells me I have to go into, I have to create my own API key and some other things. It didn't tell me that I had to enable the API for my API key, which is another extra step, but that was fairly easy to troubleshoot. But let's just go in and look at a couple of other things, though, that it did wrong. But it does work. It worked. It's just a little bit wrong. And this is where I think it's interesting that I don't think AI can completely replace a mid-level engineer in the way that Mark Zuckerberg suggested yet. Maybe someday, but it's not quite there yet. Okay, so this is the script, particularly the bottom part of the script in VS Code. It's a little easier way to view this this data. And one of the things that I found that as I was sort of like reviewing the output to this, and you can see the hashtags here mean that I've commented this out. But even though ChatGPT fixed the script to call Google's APIs, it was still writing the data to a JSON format, or trying to write it to a JSON file, even though it's effectively still then just pulling the data out of memory to actually select the random user. So right here, it's actually just grabbing the random user out of the comments that it's already downloaded. The step here that I've commented out above to write the JSON file is never actually utilized. So it's weird that it left that bug in there, and it was kind of unnecessary. So that's the first thing that I noticed that was wrong. The other thing that it did, which is not great, is it actually just says, hey, write your API key in directly into the script. And that's just a bad best practice. And I've got it on screen here and I'm blurring it out specifically because it's not a great practice. And I don't want everybody that watches this video to have access to my API key. In fact, I'm probably going to delete it after this just in case it slipped out. One of the things that happens is you write your API key into a clear text file like this script, and it effectively can then leak out into the wild. Once you've written it there, it's potentially going to get written someplace where you're going to share it. Maybe I save this script into GitHub someday, and then somebody goes through and they're like, hey, let's look at code in GitHub, and let's look for API keys in GitHub. And look, here's Beyond 50's API key for YouTube that we can now get in and do anything we want with. It's literally a key, and it gives people access to things. So I then actually went back to ChatGPT and I said, hey, you're asking me to put this API key in clear text in this script. Is that the best practice? And it actually was smart enough to say, oh no, you should do it in these 3 other ways. There's other ways that you can store your API key safely and have it executed against this. I didn't bother because I'm not going to save this, but it is one of those things that you shouldn't do. And this is one of those things where I think the idea that AI is going to replace a mid-level engineer, it's not quite there yet. Does this mean that a mid-level engineer couldn't make these kind of mistakes? Yes, they could. But I think that you still need a mid-level engineer to run the prompts and create the code and review the code before they save it. Otherwise, you're going to have issues with that code. And so what I really think is going to happen is AI is going to increase the speed and efficiency of our engineers. So this really took me minutes to write, a few minutes to review and revise, and then I was able to use it in a very short amount of time. It would have taken me quite a bit of time to go through and do the research to figure out which Google API I need to query to get the user comment data and all of the work that goes into doing that research to find out how to work against some other APIs. It just shortcutted all of that, and very well. So that's the part that I think it's going to help with. It's going to cut down a lot of the research and the work that people have to do. And you can easily then, once it's done that, validate it and make sure that that work is correct. But you're still going to need a person to be looking over the shoulder of your AI bots that are helping you generate your code. So that is this video in summary. We've gone through, we selected our winner, we did it with AI, and we had a quick review of some code for AI. If you have questions on any of this stuff, I'm happy to talk. I'll respond to comments. This was not an in-depth anything. This was just a quick little fun exercise, doing a little bit of easy coding to easily get some data and example of how you can do that. So, all right. Thanks for watching Beyond 50. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.